Hello everybody, I'm Mr. Homer.
I'm Mr. Ridley.
And I'm Miss June.
And welcome to the final net assembly of the year about our responsibility to the Earth. When we talk about our responsibility to the Earth, we are talking about the responsibility to the environment.
Mr. Homer, what is the environment?
Good question, Mr. Ridley.
Well, the environment is the natural world in which we and all living creatures live. Can we all say natural?
Natural.
So natural are things that are naturally occurring in forests, in the ocean. So they are things that are not man-made. And can we all say creatures?
Creatures.
So creatures are any animals and insects.
So different creatures live in different habitats and they all depend on the environment to survive. Habitats. Habitats are where animals live, and depend on means we need the environment to survive. Can you say depend on?
Depend on. Well, now, unfortunately, there are lots of changes that we are seeing in our environment, and here are a few examples of that. Since 2016, almost 28 million hectares of forest have been cut down each year.
So that's one football field of forest is lost every second. Look at that picture, that's amazing. In the last 150 years, the area of coral reef has halved. Can you say coral reef?
Coral reef.
Well, if you look at the pictures, a coral reef is like a colourful rainforest underneath the ocean in some parts of the world, and they're very, very precious.
Temperatures are also expected to rise by 2.7 degrees Celsius in the next 80 years. And our glaciers are already melting at extremely fast rates. Can we all say glaciers?
Glaciers.
So glaciers are big blocks of ice.
Also, within the next 30 years, 1 million different kinds of plants and animals may become extinct, which means they don't exist anymore, which is crazy.
Wow, there are more than 7 billion people on our planet, but there is only one Earth, so we must do everything we can to look after it.
So the main environmental problems that we are facing include pollution, such as air pollution, noise pollution, and also global warming, where temperatures are rising, as well as deforestation, when humans are cutting down a lot of trees. For example, Australia is getting much warmer, and they have more heat waves every year. Can we all say heat waves?
Heat waves.
So heat waves are periods of extremely hot temperatures. Australia is also facing more drought that dry out plants. Can we say drought?
Droughts.
So drought is when there are not enough water and it just becomes really, really dry. And these causes bushfires. Can we all say bushfires?
Bushfires.
So bushfires are when there are forest fires that spread crazily, and this is making global warming much worse.
Well, I can see in the picture there, that's terrible. And in 2020, a terrible bushfire burned in Australia. For 6 months, it destroyed forests and the habitats of kangaroos and koalas, and many of those were killed.
Now, it's not only Australia that are facing problems, also the colder areas of our planet are also warming up. In Antarctica, it's getting warmer. After a record-breaking heat wave in March 2022, a huge ice shelf the size of Hong Kong broke off. Can we say ice shelf?
Ice shelf.
Now, you can see an ice shelf in that picture that the circles just jumped on. It's a huge chunk of ice, basically. And these photos show how much a glacier in Alaska has shrunk since 1941. As glaciers disappear, so do the animals and plants that live on that, which can cause extinction.
And also the coral reefs are getting warmer. And like I said, these are the rainforests of the ocean. They're not big in size, but they're home to more than 25% of all sea life.
Wow.
And when the ocean gets too warm, the corals lose their beautiful colors and turn white, which is an effect called coral bleaching. It is a warning to everyone that the coral, which supports so much sea life, might die.
So what can we do to help our environment? Now, we don't have much time left to solve this environmental problem, so we must all act now. To help the environment, we can think about how our lives and our actions affect our natural world. We can all make small changes that will help the environment. If everyone in the world made a small change to help the environment, imagine the positive difference we could all make.
Mr. Hermit, could you tell us the starfish story again?
Oh, the Starfish Story? I know it's one of your favorites, Mr. Ridley.
Yeah.
Okay, go on then. A man was walking along a beach when he saw a young boy picking something up and gently throwing it into the sea. The man walked to the boy and asked,
What are you doing?
Saving the starfish.
The boy replied.
But how can you?
Responded the man.
There are so many here to save. What difference can you make?
The boy picked up a starfish lying close to his feet and threw it back into the sea. As the starfish splashed into the water, the boy smiled and said,
Well, I made a difference to that one.
So this is one of our favorite stories. It just shows however small things you do can make a big difference into the world. So we should all do our part. So this brings us to our responsibility to the earth.
Now, each one of us has a role to play in protecting and restoring our planet. Our life choices can make a difference. Now, guys, can you say protecting?
Protecting.
Now, protecting means we can do everything to stop it from getting any worse. And restoring is to do the opposite and to make it even better.
Restoring.
Restoring.
We can learn more about what we can do to help. We can also share knowledge with our friends and family about how important it is to protect and help the environment. Finally, we can act on things we need to change.
So, what can we do to help?
Well, like we said, we can learn. We can find out what your school and where you live are doing to protect the environment. What do they do with recycling? How do they support or help nature?
We can also share. For example, we can make a poster for our classroom that shows us how we are helping the environment. We can also speak to our teachers and classmates about what is happening and what you are doing.
Okay, that's great to know, but how can we act? What can we do?
Well, we can pick up and put rubbish into the bin.
We can recycle plastic, cardboard, and glass so that they can be reused.
We can reuse items in a different way so you don't have to throw them out.
We can turn off lights when we don't need them.
We can turn off the tap when we are not using them.
And we can also walk, cycle, or catch the bus or train instead of driving in a car.
Oh, look, there's some more things we can do to act.
Such as turning off the tap when you brush your teeth, which will save around 12 litres of water every time you brush.
Wow, that is a lot of water.
Sorting and recycling rubbish into the correct recycle bins will also help to reduce waste. This means less rubbish will end up in landfill sites. So you can see in the picture here, this is an example of a landfill site where all our rubbish are dumped. Can we say landfill sites?
Landfill sites.
We can try to turn the aircon to 25 degrees. This will save a lot of energy.
And also taking a reusable bag to the shops will help reduce plastic waste. Now, reusable, can we say that word?
Reusable.
Very simply means we can use it more than one time. Mr. Hermit, it's the Starfish Story again.
Calm down, Mr. Ridley. Calm down, Mr. Ridley. So I hope you've learned today that we can all change the world that we live in. Every small act we do can make a massive difference to the environment. If you remember the Starfish Story, Mr. Ridley, this is what it was all about. So every little thing we do to help matters.
And the little things can make a big difference if we put them all together.
That's the end of the assembly. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.